You know that celebrity that you fuck with heavy? They're probably a piece of shit. It's so funny that we looked up to all of these celebrities and we thought that they had this wonderful life and that they were the best people in the world. And as we hear more rumors and allegations and see more crimes being committed by them, it's like a wake-up call telling us that these are not the people that we think that they are. And the thing about parasocial relationships is that we feel like we know these people and we don't. That's the lie. We think that these are good people because of the acts of kindness that they do publicly, because of the contributions that they've had to media and entertainment, because of their talent. And it's like, oh, there's no way that this person could be a piece of human garbage. I can definitely say nowadays, whenever I see a celebrity or a content creator or whoever that I generally like or may look up to, I think in the back of my head, I wonder if they're a piece of shit. And that may sound like, dang, you think that about everybody? Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know these people. And the more you realize that, the more you wonder how many people are faking it. That doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the people that we like online. Doesn't mean we can't enjoy our favorite celebrities, their talents, the way that they make us laugh, the entertainment. But it's important to remember at any time they could be exposed for being a piece of shit, doing terrible things to other people. It's really sad because even if you think that your favorite is safe, oh no, they're not. Think about Minecraft YouTubers. I don't know what it is about Minecraft YouTubers. I am a Minecraft kid, okay? Like, I used to watch so many Minecraft videos as a kid, so many OGs as a kid. It's like, why is it Minecraft YouTubers who love talking to little kids and shit? Why is it talking to little kids? Why can't it be like, I don't know, I don't know, why can't it be some like shit that doesn't matter that they did? Why does it have to be that? Why do they have to commit a crime? Why do they have to be weirdos? Why do they have to be predators? Why? One aspect I do want to talk about when it comes to this is the minion aspect. Have you ever seen someone get exposed for some of the worst shit ever? They could have literally committed one of the worst crimes. They could have abused people. Let's take Diddy, for example, or David. Think of a celebrity that you know got exposed for some of the worst things, and typically it's predatory shit. You are going to see people defending them to the moon and back. And it's one of the most embarrassing things that you could ever witness. You get secondhand embarrassment from seeing that shit because you understand the weight of this person's actions and how disgusting they are as a human being, or whatever they did to show that they're not actually a great person and that they don't have a decent character. But you're going to have people who are so deep into their parasocial marriage that they're going to, oh no, you guys are wrong. Yeah, he probably didn't do that. And people like to lie and yada, yada, yada. Honey, I know you cannot believe that this person did wrong, but you need to wake the fuck up. You need to wake up, because the more these celebrities and stuff are getting exposed on like a daily basis, you have to begin to divorce the parasocialness at some point. That's when you're going to think for yourself, and that's when you're going to be free. You're not going to be in that hive mindset and that echo chamber of all of the people who cannot think for themselves because they're under like a minion mind control. You have to think for a second, what if these people did do this? What if they are not a good person? Generally, the Kardashians are not one of the most liked families out there. But I can say, admittedly, I used to defend them to the moon and back in most cases. I think the reason I like the Kardashians is because when I got old enough to watch the show on Hulu, and I love watching me some like old early 2000s reality TV shows, and I didn't know that Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner were siblings and that there were more sisters. I knew nothing about this family except for Kylie Jenner and her lips, Kim and popping a champagne bottle with the wine glass on her ass. That's all I knew. So I was very intrigued. And from there, it's like I'm learning more about this family. And I love them. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. They're the sweetest people on earth. They have wonderful personalities. And anytime that I saw that they got hate, I would defend them. I would always try to find a way in my head to think, no, like they wouldn't do this. There were times where I was like, yeah, like I don't agree with what they did. But sometimes I would be like, oh, well, maybe they did this because of that. Like, y'all are just misunderstanding them. Like, y'all don't really know them like that. But neither did I. And I was probably looking like a dumb bitch. Much later down the line, I don't know what it was that made me break out of the Kardashian spell. I realized, like, I don't think I ever want to be in that mindset again, mindlessly defending somebody or people who are shitty. So you can say at one point I was in a parasocial relationship, and sometimes I think about that and like, I'm so glad I'm not like that anymore. Sometimes you have to question if the people that you look up to or that you generally like may be the next person to get exposed. You see people get exposed that you wouldn't expect to be on people's radar. You see a YouTube video about a music artist you listen to who you think is like, does no wrong, gets a no drama. But guess what? They're actually not the saint that you thought they were. Let's take James Charles for another example. James Charles was initially exposed for predatory behavior. That's how I'll generally put it. But more recently, bashed a Spirit Airlines employee. A lot of Spirit Airlines employees lost their jobs because Spirit Airlines shut down. And this girl didn't even ask for much. She sent like the shortest text message. She was pretty much asking, hey, can you support my GoFundMe? Or if you could donate like a little something, that would be amazing. And James Charles had a goddamn field day because he thinks whenever he goes off, he's like, yes, girl, go off, like spit facts. No, you look like a idiot, a lunatic. And this was one of those moments where he thought he was spitting, but he wasn't. He showed how out of touch he was, not only probably with his audience, but with the rest of us who are working jobs, who are looking for jobs, who can't find a job because he doesn't have to deal with the shitty job market. He just thinks that people are lazy because they have GoFundMes. They don't know if they can pay their next bill. They don't know if they can support the people in their life because they are just in a terrible situation. So they decide to ask for help. James Charles was telling this girl, just go find another job. Like, it's a simple thing right now. If you had DMs and DMs showing your support to me, like, she needed to have some weird resume. So it's like, okay, so she pretty much had to kiss your ass in order for you to even think about helping her. And only after the backlash did he donate to the GoFundMe a lot of money and made sure that people saw that it was from James Charles. People helped you get to a point where you don't have to work a 9-to-5. You have a privilege. You're pretty much shitting on the people who give you the money, who got you here. It's really sad, and you'll still have people defending James Charles even though he literally admitted to being desperate, and that's why he texts teenage boys. And he's still having allegations released to this day. It also reminds me of people who get exposed for being racist or saying slurs. They'll get exposed for saying something like the N-word, and that's the popular one. Everyone wants to say the N-word. After they get exposed is when they want to start saying, oh, I'm going to become a better person. I'm going to work on myself. That's when they start donating to all these organizations that they wouldn't have donated to before. It's performative. It's to tell us, oh, look, I'm giving money, all of my money that I earned to this organization because I care about the thing that I did. That's the definition of performative to me, because they wouldn't have done that before until they got exposed. Now, I'll give another example. And sadly, it's going to be on the predator trend again, but for some reason, everyone's a goddamn predator behind the scenes. Underground artists. I went down a whole rabbit hole last year, the year before, videos about underground music artists, underground rappers who were exposed for being PDFs. And I'm like, okay, I know this isn't specifically an underground thing because it happens in the big leagues too. And it happens everywhere. But I'm just like, what contract are y'all signing? I feel like there's a contract that these people sign where it's like, okay, you can have fame, you can have success, you can have money, but you have to be exposed for fucking up a little kid's life at some point. You can have all this good shit, but you got to be exposed for this at some point. And then see if it's a hit or miss with the public. I genuinely believe that, because the amount of people who are exposed for being predators is it's so off. It's so eerie. But like the amount of underground artists who turn out to be PDF files, and you would think, oh, they're not corrupt by the big industry. Not like with the people with like Diddy and shit. They're not corrupt by the industry. So you would think that a smaller artist would be a more genuine person and would be more relatable to the rest of us. Even though it's not the most stardom, it's not A-list, when that like bit of fame and the streaming gets to their head, or they were pieces of shit before the fame and they now have more of an ego because people are by their side, they're defending them, coming to their aid when they're getting exposed for the shit that they've done. That's it for this video. You really have to side-eye every single celebrity and influencer and content creator that you either like or you don't like, because they could all be exposed for being pieces of shit tomorrow and it would shock you, but it shouldn't. At this point with me, when someone gets exposed for some shit, just numb to it. It's like I'm not that shocked anymore. That's how frequent and bad it is. Let me know if you agree with anything that I said, disagree with anything that I said, relate, don't relate. Let me know in the comments, and until my next video, whatever I talk about.